All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. So today we are going to be configuring and continuing on our session. We're going to continue our session. So that means we're going to create organizational units and user accounts, computers, security groups, and so forth. If you remember the last time we installed Active Directory and DNS on our system. So now we're going to go ahead and configure it. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Active Directory should be installed already, how we did. So the first thing we're going to do according to our lesson plan is create organizational units. And there's multiple ways, like I always say, to do things with Microsoft. But one of the easiest way I'm going to show you is just to create an OU. So you can right click on your domain or anywhere in this area, right, on a container, and you can click new OU, right? So it will take you there. Or you can go up to your domain where we're going to start. We're just going to go to new and we're going to do organizational unit. So we're going to go ahead and create this one's going to call HR. And then next one, we're going to call it IT. And then we'll probably do one that's called sales. Now, if you're looking at these three, this is one way you can organize your if this is just the only domain and you won't pretty much be working with sites and services or other places later, you can create just your OU just like this. But for a more organized structure, it's always good to create maybe the location first as an organizational unit, or maybe if you have a different site or so forth, then that also might be a good thing to do. So, for example, if we had a New York City location, I'll probably create New York City first and then maybe do Sydney. And then from there, maybe I'll do like an Atlanta branch. Easy. So then you know these are your locations by looking at them, right? And then from there, you can always put your objects inside. This objects I can't move because it's preventing me from doing it because it's locked, which is fine. But inside here, if I wanted to do New York City, then I'll just right click here and just go to new, and then we'll create the same unit. So I will just do New York City dash HR just to keep it properly, because if I already create an HR here and I try to create a new HR under the structure, it's going to flag me and say it already exists. So now on the Sydney, I can go ahead and do, and then I'll just do Sydney IT, and then I'll put sales under ATL. So then you have your structure. You can just build these out as needed, right? Now, one of the thing I'll show you here, if I try to delete an OU as such right now, it's gonna flag me telling me that I can't delete these OU because I don't have sufficient privileges, even though I'm the one that created it earlier. Now, how do we fix this? Well, you'll have to go into your advanced mode. So right here, into your advanced mode, you'll need to turn on advanced mode into Active Directory. You'll have to raise it to advanced mode in order for you to do it. So go to view and then go advanced features, and you want to turn that on, right? Now after advanced features are on, you want to go back to that property that you set. And as you can see, the way it's managed, that object is being protected under here. So if I click that object, then I can delete it, right? So for example, HR I wanted to get rid of, I'll have to go back to properties here, go to object, and apply OK. And then now if I wanted to delete that object, it will automatically gets deleted. Similar to IT here, if I wanted to make sure that it doesn't move, I can go ahead and apply it there as well. And then now it gives me the opportunity to kind of manipulate the that OU. So remember earlier I wasn't able to move it. So there you go. Once I take the protection off, I can move it, I can delete it and do whatever. So that's the good facts to know about how you can move around your OUs or if they're protected. You want to keep this protection on just for best practices. You may have one of those administrators out there that like to play around and delete stuff. It's one of the weird things. Now, if something is deleted inside of Active Directory and you want to find it, one of the cool features is that you can turn on the recycle bin, which I'm about to show you. Now, the recycle bin is going to be found under ADAC, so it's Active Directory Administrative Center. You go here to turn on your recycle bin. Now, one of the good things about this, ladies and gentlemen, is that once your recycle bin is turned on, you can't disable it. So you'll come over to Active Directory Administrative Center, look for your domain right here, which is fine, and then you'll see Enable Recycle Bin on the right. As you're told earlier, once this has been enabled, it cannot be disabled, which is okay because this is something that is very useful. Okay, so now that I have all of the structures built out, we're going to go back to recovering OUs now. So, for example, if I deleted IT from here and it's no longer exists, if I go to ADAC and I look it up, right? A recycle bin should be on, so right there. So that means I have what's called a lost and found inside of ADAC. You can go to the lost and found, right? And then normally anything that you delete from your Active Directory will pretty much show up under your lost and found, and that's where you can go and recover stuff. So I thought I deleted NYC, but maybe it's so we'll just test it right now. I'll create a new organizational unit. It probably got deleted before it was enabled. So I'll create a new OU and I'm just going to call it test here. And I'm going to take it off the protection and click OK. Now test, I'm going to delete test right here from the OU itself. And then in my lost and found, I should see my should see test show back up. Or did I go back to, I'm sorry, I think it's in. Yeah, so like I was saying, sorry. It's not lost and found. I keep clicking lost and found like I'm at the airport, but it's supposed to be deleted objects. So if you click on actually your domain name, not lost and found, deleted objects. So we go back here, see even IT was there earlier. Excuse me. So test is here and IT was here, so it was actually there before. I was just looking in the wrong place. My bad. So it's deleted objects. You go to the deleted objects, and you will see the items that were deleted. So then you can click on whichever one you want to, and then just click on restore, and then restore. So then when you go back to Active Directory itself, take a look at it. Now you'll just have to refresh, and then they will show back up. See these two right here. So that's how you can find objects that you delete And this goes for pretty much almost everything inside of Active Directory, regardless if it's a group, a user, computer, and so forth. That's where you'll find them, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Now, next thing we're gonna move on to is creating user accounts. So inside of New York City, we have IT and we got HR. So on the HR, I'm just gonna create a new user. Okay, and I'm just gonna call her Kate, and then Kate Spade, which is fine. And I'm gonna do this Kate at Spade and click next. And then I'm gonna uncheck the box here saying user never expire, and then I'm just gonna give her a password. All right, so just like that, Kate Spade has been created and she's good to go. Now, Kate Spade is going to be our HR tech, and then we're going to onboard a new IT guy. So let's create him a profile as well. So, new user. I'm going to call this guy John. Wick is here. Okay. And then now, same thing, uncheck, password never expires. Now, it is not best practice to say password never expires. You can literally uncheck this and then make sure that the user does change their password when they are onboarded. So it just depends on your organization. Like if this was a new user, I will give them the generic password because it might be a generic password for signing on for the first time. And then you will say user needs to change your password on the next logon, and then you can manage it from here. When a user leaves the organization or something happens, you can have the account is disabled for some type, like a period, and then it may gets deleted like after a certain time frame. So, for example, let's say 30 days, no activity in Active Directory, account goes disabled, right? And then after 60 days, then the account is deleted and it goes to the recycle bin. And then after 90 days, you purge it from the recycle bin and then it's completely gone. So that could just be a policy setting. You can set it for certain users so password never expire, but that would be more like service accounts, right? So instead of this being a user, this would be like a service account. And what I mean by service account is that let's say you have accounts that are needed for operations like SQL, Microsoft Exchange, SharePoint. These have service accounts that are needed to log in, sign on, and do different things as well. So you would create these accounts just as the same as just create a regular user, but then you'll give it a password. You're gonna say password never expires and it never changes, right? So that means this password stays with this service account and you can use that service account to actually service those applications. That's what it actually means by those service accounts. Okay, so that's the gist for these users, right? So we'll go click next and click finish. Now, John Wick is here and then Kate Spade is here, two users. If you want to move around a user, you can literally just click and drag them to wherever you want them, except this message. And now you have Kate Spade and John Wick in the same location. You have the ability to move and drag around users as far as you have control. If you have full rights to this entire box, then you can drag them and put them wherever you want to go for organization purposes. Well, best practice, you don't want a regular admin being able to move people around, so you would limit them from managing only certain OUs that you'll probably give them rights to. Okay, so that is basically a user account. Now let's talk about groups. Similar, you can do a right click here and go to a group. And normally you're just creating a security group. You can call it security group sales. We can create another security group. Call it text. So that means sales have certain permissions for certain things. Technicians will have also certain permissions for certain things. Multiple ways you can add users to groups. I'm going to show you both ways. So you can go to the group itself and you can right click the group and go to properties. And then you're going to go to members and then you add. So let's find right here. We can go find now. And then remember we had a tech. So I think it was John Wick. John Wick that we create. So we'll add John Wick as a tech to this group. So this is going from the group itself. Now, if you had the user, Kate Spade, you can do it from here as well. Right click and go to properties. And this time you're going to be member off. And then you click add. Same thing you can find. And now you're finding the group that you want to add her to. So she will be added to sales, which is the group we just created right there. So you can do it multiple ways. Like I said, start from the user, member of, or go to the group and do members and add them there. That's a good way how you can create your groups in Active Directory. And this is basically going versus the GUI version. You can also do this in PowerShell as well. Okay, now we have done security groups, we did user accounts, and we did OUs, right? I think this is going to be the main sessions that we cover for this one. Now, do remember you can manipulate user accounts right here. So you can go to properties. We're just covering user accounts right now. And you can have your users fill all this stuff out. You can now administer a lot of stuff. User right here. If the user has an account that was locked, you come here, unlock it. If you're working on the help desk and they said, hey, my account is locked or whatever, this is where you'll come and put a check mark in here and then you'll apply, unlock the user's account. Now there's other permissions and stuff under here as well. You can do smart card. But like some DoD folks, they have a requirement for smart card only to be required for login. So this is where smart card would be checked here. And then also you have different account options where you can require the user's accounts will be set in certain ways. Okay, you have different logins that you can have here. So if you had multiple domains, they will show up here, and this user might have the ability to log on to multiple users. They will just check the one that you want here. The profile is just something that you can fill out for like if you wanted to set home folder. We'll talk about that in another video. But then all of these properties is good to have the user fill out, or you can have a template that's already made and these can be filled out. So when you import the user, all of these are already done. Might cover that too in another video as well. This is probably when we get into scripting, and we'll have to do these through a script. Easiest way to do it through a script because you just fill everything out in a CSV file, import it, and then all of these information will be populated. This is good for when you want to configure the GAL, the global address list, because then you can find folks by their address and you can look them up inside of Active Directory so you get all their information as well. Remote control you can set for certain users if you want to have them enable remote control so that they'll have remote sessions. You can check it, you can uncheck it. So all of these in Active Directory you can manipulate and manage properties for users and groups of what all these users and the groups have access to. This is just a general overview of how to manipulate users, groups, and OUs. I hope you found this useful. We will dive deeper into the more advanced sessions here later on when we go into our labs. But for the most part, you guys now should know how to create an OU. You should know how to create a group, and you should know how to create a user account. Before we go, I will show you one thing as well. Computers, you can also do it here, create a new computer. This is what we call staging. You don't necessarily have to stage computers where you can right click and you can create a new computer, right? And one of the good things about this is that if you do Windows 7 as an example, X604, and then this could be like Tom PC. Now, if you had a computer and this was his name, right, before it's joined to the domain, if you know this is the exact name that a computer is going to have, you can make sure that Tom PC is staged. And what I mean by that is that if Tom PC belongs to New York City, then you can make sure that Tom PC stays in New York City. So whenever that computer joins, it belongs to the right location. That's one of the good ways of staging because by default, if computers are not properly aligned to Active Directory, whenever you join them, it's going to go to the default folder, which is here inside of computers. Then you'll have a long list of computers and you have to try to figure out where they go. So that's another way of staging a computer. Just put it where you want it to be, and it will get there for you. Another way is that you can also use a script and point it into the direction of where you want this computer to be created. Also, you can do it with SCCM and MDT later on, where you can also use a script to manipulate the direction and tell the computer where it needs to be stored. Apart from that, this is just the basics. We covered OUs, um, we did groups, counts, and now I just showed you the basics of staging your computers before they are joined. I hope this was useful for you. I'm going to finish my coffee, but you should be good to go to continue on creating all of your OUs that are needed for your class or for this lab. I hope you find this useful, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video.